All right. Let me turn up the game. I know I won't be screaming that much. Or maybe I will. A bit. You never know. Oh yeah, I gotta start this. There we go. Greetings, chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. You know, I just realized that the scene in Twisted Truth could give it epilepsy. Already starting off with a spammer. All right. Continue. Just put that. No spamming W, please. Always watch your vids. Thank you, I appreciate that. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So, as the title of the stream says, we will be talking about the FNAF 2 movie that has been out for about a week now. It's been a whole week. I didn't get to see it super early. I would have saw it last weekend, but I had to finish episode 11 of the Twisted Freddy remake. As we did last time for the last movie, I'm just going to... Oh, sorry, let me turn down my... I'm just going to play a video in the background, some of my videos, you know, and then we'll just talk about the movie. So, pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. How are you all doing? Who here has seen the movie? Who here has seen the movie? Who likes the movie? Let me get your thoughts on that. What do you guys think about the FNAF movie? What are all y'all's thoughts? Dude, I turned this down a little too much. Oh, also, sorry, forgive me if I'm very burpy. I just ate some cereal. Ugh, I'm a burpy fella. It looks cool. Oh, you haven't even seen it yet. Well, we're going to be talking about spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie yet, and you don't want any spoilers, I recommend you probably, you probably don't stick around. You might want to leave the stream if you don't want to get spoilers. But I'm going to give like a quick review first, tell you my thoughts, and then we're going to get into some spoiler discussion territory. You like the movie? It was good? Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, well, I guess I already spoiled it a little bit in my review. So, fine with spoilers? Alright, that works. FNAF 2 movie is really disturbing. It is actually pretty disturbing. I'm very surprised by it, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. I didn't see it, so please no spoilers. We will be talking about spoilers, unfortunately. I'm going to do my review first, and then we will talk about spoilers. You know, let me do this as well. I'm just gonna grab quickly, like a little image. Let's do this one. No, not this one. When we talk about spoilers, I'm gonna put up a little thing going over the spoilers. But for now, we're just gonna talk about a little review before we do spoilers. So, all right. I guess I'll start with my thoughts on, can we do the same stream next weekend? Well, we'll see. I don't know. I do want to do another stream where I talk with some friends about the movie, because I went to see it with friends, and some of my friends haven't seen it yet, and they're kind of fans of FNAF, and I want them to see it, and then we'll talk about it. So maybe we'll do another stream again with them. I would like to do that with some friends. So I guess I'll start off with my review for the movie. I actually really liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It was way better than the first one. Like, for those who don't remember, I like the first one. It's fun. It's very entertaining. I had a good time watching it, but I thought it was a bad movie. It was really poorly written. Character motivations didn't make sense. Dialogue was kind of cheesy. And also it just wasn't very scary. It wasn't scary at all, the last movie. This movie actually takes all those criticisms and improves upon them. The movie was way better written. The dialogue, while there was some cheesy, corny lines here and there, overall it was pretty good. The story was actually really well done. It moved fluently. Character motivations made sense, and the last movie I felt like didn't have very good setups and payoffs. It kind of just it just things just happened in the last movie. It felt like there wasn't really very well done setups for for things to occur in the movie for payoffs. But this movie actually it took its time. It showed a lot of setups and payoffs, and I really appreciate that. It built up the tension, it built up the story. Character conflicts just didn't feel like they were there because we needed conflict. It actually built upon everything, which was really, really nice. I really like that a lot. It was really well written, this one. It still had some cheesiness, don't get me wrong, but all the cheesiness is kind of like it at least sets it up, right? And it's excusable. It make it as they're more nitpicks, I guess. They're more nitpicks than I would say actual criticism of the film. But yeah, overall, I really like this movie. I've seen a lot of people give it an 8 out of 10, and I think that's fair. 8 out of 10, 8.5, honestly. Like an 8.5 out of 10 is pretty good. The first movie I would have gave like a 6 out of 10 because I think it was not very well written. This one is really, really well written. And it's actually, this movie, it's PG-13, just like the first movie, right? But it gets ballsy at times. Like it kind of gets a little dark and serious at times, pretty mature. And like there's a bit more gore in this one. It's nothing like the Saw movies or anything, but there's a bit more blood, a bit more violence. There's some pretty funny jokes that are like a little inappropriate, not like super inappropriate, but just like they might cuss in the joke or something. Like a lot of this stuff didn't really happen in the first movie. The first movie felt very safe, very generic, very kid friendly. Like it felt like it was catering more towards the kids of the FNAF fandom, whereas this one felt like it was catering to everybody, like even especially the older fans who like the more serious, more mature aspect of Five Nights at Freddy's, because the story is pretty dark and pretty dark and pretty serious at times in the original games. I mean, it's dealing with like murdered children who were murdered at a Chuck E. Cheese themed like restaurant, like a safe place that's supposed to be fun for kids. They possess the robots, and then they become killer robots, and they're even searching for their killer to get revenge, right? They're pretty serious, the movies. The games. They're very dark in their story. And this one kind of does the same thing to a little bit, not fully, it's not as dark, but it's good. It's enough, right? It makes it feel more serious and a bit more grounded and believable. I really like that a lot. There was a lot of things I wasn't expecting this movie to do, especially with how it treats characters. Like it builds upon a lot. It really does. And the ending, again, we won't go into spoilers just yet, but the ending it's okay. It's not bad. It's not a bad ending. It's just kind of corny. There are some things about it, now that I think about it, that's really dumb. Like, the characters had the chance to defeat the villain of the movie, and they chose they kind of like beat it and it runs off, and they don't chase after it. They just kind of forget about it and then move on to the next big set piece, which is like everybody versus the toy animatronics. It's a little spoiler, but like it makes sense. And then that gets resolved. It's kind of cheap. It's kind of cheap. It's kind of cheesy. I'll talk about it more when we get to spoilers for a bit, though. But yeah, overall, I like it. I would give it a 9 out of 10. It very much, you could tell they put a lot more effort into the writing in this, which I greatly appreciate. Again, it deviates from the lore a bit. There's a lot of new like Easter eggs and cameos from characters in the games that are in this movie, but it's not one for one like the game story. This is very much its own thing, taking most of its inspiration from the game, of course. So that's nice. It's not like we've already know this, right? Because like Vanessa being William Afton's daughter, that's not in the games. In the games, it's Elizabeth, right? So stuff like that is changed, but it's not like a bad change to where you almost like hate it and you're like, this is such a horrible adaptation. It's like, it still works, right? It's still done really well, and I really like it. There's more of that conflict between Vanessa and William Afton, because in this movie, or in the movies, she's his daughter. And so that's another thing I gotta say. That's a criticism I have of the movie. It doesn't really, I still don't really understand William Afton's motivations. Like, if he's just a psychotic killer, I get it, right? Like I don't mind that. I've said that before about like I miss that the purple guy used to just be like this psychopath who just liked killing kids, right? Sounds really weird out of context, but in the FNAF story, in the games, before he became like some sad father who started killing kids because his own kid died, right? That used to be how it was presented with William. And I don't mind him just being a psychopath in this movie who just likes to kill people. But like, there's obviously, it's implied William was not a good father towards Vanessa. They don't go into like she very much is traumatized from him, right? Like she helped him in the first movie, and in this movie she's going through the trauma of being his daughter, basically. And it doesn't really, they don't talk too much about it. I mean, and it's not that they don't talk too much. How do I explain? It doesn't show you necessarily, like, I still don't understand how he was like towards her. Like, what did he do? How do I word this? Because like in every other movie, right? Most movies, when there's like a traumatic experience like this, the parent is usually abusive, right? In some way, physically, verbally. She's there. It's implied that William was abusive towards her, or well, his children, right? In the movie, because little spoiler, there's more than one child. There's more than one Afton child in the movie. But it doesn't really talk about like what her childhood was like. Like what was William Afton? Why does she hate him so much? Is it just because he's a serial killer? Is that it? Or is there more? Was he abusive towards her? It's implied that they don't get along. Like she was very much terrified of her father growing up. But it doesn't really tell you like how he treated them, you know? It doesn't tell you how he treated her. Was he verbally abusive? Was he physically abusive? Was he even abusive? Because like, I don't know. We'll get more into that, into the spoilers territory, but I guess I'll read some of the chat first before we get. Am I late? Also, what's good, Magma? Oh, you're early, brother. We're just going over a spoiler-free review, but we're about to tackle spoilers right now. So, if you haven't seen the movie, I recommend you probably leave the stream, go watch it, and then watch the stream. Let's see. Hey, Magma, and the Twisted Truth, brother. We're not talking about the Twisted Truth. We're trying to talk about the FNAF movie right now. Wait. Oh, actually, I do want to answer. Hey, Magma, in the Twisted Truth finale part 2, what song did you use for William Afton getting dragged into hell? Look up Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 main theme, main menu theme, and that's the song I used for William Afton being dragged to hell. Twisted Truth. Let's see. Anybody have anything to say? Nobody's really talking about Nobody's really talking about the movie in chat. Have you guys even seen the movie yet? It's been out for a week. No, I mean, not like it's been out for a super long time, but I'm just surprised. Nobody's even talking about the movie in chat. Everybody's just talking about Twisted Truth or other things in my videos, which is like, I appreciate that, but like, I don't want to talk about the movie. How's your day? My day's been pretty good. How about yours? William Afton a deaf killer? Yes. I guess you sort of predicted, but I won't tell you. What do you mean? Predicted what? I don't remember what I predicted. I feel like wizards in the movie weren't used like fully. They weren't withered gold. Yeah, that's a good point. So obviously the withered animatronics are in the movie. Yeah, they're in the trailer, so that's no spoiler. Plus, if you figure if it's the Toy animatronic restaurant, then the wizards are there. So the withered animatronics are there, but they're not like the animatronics. They're just robots they're experimental robots. They're prototypes, what they call them in the movie. And they really, you're right. Who said that? Give you credit for. I can't see. Antonio, yes, I feel like, yeah, Antonio, you're right. They didn't utilize the withered animatronics very well. They just kind of, they were there for like maybe 5 minutes. They like attacked Michael when he was in or Mike Schmidt rather. They attacked Mike when he was in the security room, and he kind of easily beat them because they're slow and stupid. Like, so like in FNAF 2, right, the game, you have to put your mask on quickly or the withered animatronics will kill you when they enter the security office, right? But in the movie, you don't have to be quick. You could just like slowly put the mask on, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I guess he's animatronic. Okay, there's nobody here," and then they'll leave. So you don't really have to. It's kind of cheesy. It's kind of dumb. I can tell the only reason they had like that whole thing where he's spending himself like fighting off the withered animatronics just because it's part of, it's part of the main game. That's a little Easter egg. But yeah, the withered animatronics were not used very well. They were kind of just shoved in there, more so I feel like for reference. But I mean, it was still fun regardless. That part was kind of 5 a.m. at Freddy's prequel style. Oh yeah, where they everything. They did like a collab. I don't want Nick Cage to be in the third movie. Here's as a cameo. Why would he appear as a cameo? Has there been talks about Nicolas Cage being in the FNAF movie? I haven't heard anything about that, so I don't know. Where do you download the music for your videos? Just look up like YouTube to MP3 converter on Google, and it'll give you like a bunch of sites where you. I know you want to acknowledge this, but I still appreciate the unintended birthday present. I'm glad we're capable of having a simple chat. Such a small community makes a stronger community. Yes, I guess. Thank you. How you feel about that there was less killed kids, like PCI don't even exist? Just Charlie? Well, it's not just Charlie. Okay, we're gonna get into spoilers now. So Antonio brings up a good point. They don't really show all the other murdered kids in the movie. It's just, there's only 2. And let me put up the spoiler warning, because we're about to talk about spoilers now. Spoiler. Grab the spoiler alert image. I am. Alright, spoiler warnings. That is not a very good image. Actually, I'll put that right. Alright, now we are going to talk about spoilers. So if you're somebody who hasn't seen the FNAF movie and you don't want you don't want to hear about any spoilers, I recommend you leave now and then go see the movie. For sure, please go see this movie in theaters. I beg your parents, find money, go steal a 20. Okay, don't do that, but go see this movie in theaters, please. Like, I know some people are probably waiting for it to go on streaming, but trust me, this movie is good. It's really good. It's way better than the first movie. And you should see it in theaters. Help support your local theaters, please. Lord knows they need it. Hollywood's not making any good movies at the moment for people to go spend their money. It's good enough to see in theaters, so I recommend seeing it in theaters. But all right, so now we're gonna get into spoilers. I guess we'll start from the beginning. But first, to answer Antonio's message, he puts, Magma, how do you feel about that there was less kids killed, or less of the killed kids? It was just Charlie, but I understand that it would be strange if Ellen Goff was voicing Dead Kid with that voice. Well, I don't know if he has to voice the Dead Kid. So there are only 2 of the murdered children show up in this. The first one is Charlie, oh shoot, how do you say it? Is it Charlotte? Charlotte? No, it's Charlotte. Charlotte. We'll call her Charlie. Charlie's in the movie. They show Charlie. She gets murdered at the very beginning of the movie and then becomes puppet. So we see her ghost spirit, like the ghost child, and then the other ghost child we see is the one who was Golden Freddy in the first movie, the blonde kid with the yellow and brown striped shirt, which is weird because we see the original animatronics in this movie. Like, they show up from the first movie, like the OGs. They show up, but we don't ever see Golden Freddy, but we don't see any of the other spirits. We only see Golden Freddy. Or we only see the ghost child of Golden Freddy, which is kind of weird because, like, okay, so it's complicated. The reason that we see the spirits is because at the end of the movie they help defeat the toy animatronics, but because they left this pizzeria, I guess the robots like lose power or they malfunction. So I forget exactly what they describe, but the robot bodies pretty much break, and which allows the kids' souls to be free. So they're free now. They get to go to heaven, which is, good for them. They deserve it. But we still only see one child for some reason. It's only the Golden Freddy kid, which that doesn't really make sense, especially since he didn't appear at the final battle. So like I don't know why he's free. But regardless, I don't know. That might have just been an error on their part. Or maybe they'll explain it in the next movie. But anyways, all right. Spoilers, this is going to be good. So where do I begin with this? The first part of the movie is really, really good. In fact, it might be my favorite part of the movie because it's a flashback to when the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria was the most popular. So in the movie, the FNAF 2 location, or the toy animatronic pizzeria, that is considered the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It's the original. It's the one Henry and William created together, or at least William created. I don't think Henry was necessarily one of the creators. I think he was an employee, maybe. I don't remember if they specify if he was a co-creator. But it's the first restaurant is the toy animatronic restaurant. And it's all the toy animatronics, and then the puppet, of course. And Charlie is kind of a loser. She doesn't have too many friends. She doesn't get along with the other kids. She's infatuated with the puppet for some reason. And she actually witnesses Springtrap or Spring Bonnie or William Afton. She witnesses William Afton in the Spring Bonnie suit kidnapping a kid, and she kind of tries to warn the parents, but none of the parents listen to her. They just kind of brush her off and go like, "Go away, you stupid kid. I don't want to hear from you." Which is kind of, I don't know. It was kind of forced. It was kind of forced having all those parents like brush off Charlie because they were like really mean to her too. They're like, "Not now," or like, "The adults are talking," or "I go tell somebody else. Go tell your parent." It's like, what the hell? It's like she's telling them that a child is in danger and that she needs help. And rather than at least being like, "What's wrong?" they're just kind of like, "No, go away. We don't want to hear it from you." It's like, what the hell? Does Charlie have like a reputation of being like is Charlie, I guess, is bullied by the parents too? She's not just bullied by all the kids or not liked by the kids. I guess the parents don't like her either. But none of them would help her, which is kind of, I feel like that was really forced. Like they really, if this was normal, real world, any parent would have at least asked what's wrong before they, maybe brushed her off. So it was kind of lame to see that. Kind of a lame way for her to be angry at the parents. But the scene's important because she goes to find the kid that William Afton kidnapped, and she actually rescues the kid, but sadly she gets stabbed multiple times in the back before they both escape. And so she helps get the kid out into like the main party area. She dies, and then I don't know, there's like, it's weird that they have a hatch on the main stage, which is where the puppet comes out of. And the puppet like directs the animatronics during their performance, kind of like a puppet master. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I mean? But she falls into the hatch, and then the puppet carries her dead body out of it. And that's supposed to be like, all right, Charlie is now puppet. So it's like, and the motivation for the puppet is she hates adults and she wants to kill all the adults because they wouldn't listen to her. They just brushed her off, which is kind of funny that she hates the adults in particular, because like from the beginning of the movie it's implied that none of the other kids like her either. So it's like she's only wants to kill the adults who were mean to her. And it's like, well, you don't want to kill the kids either. They weren't nice to you either. But yeah, whatever. It was kind of stupid. But there's like two main villains in this movie that are like both have an agenda going, so to speak. What do we got in chat? Hold on, before I reveal who the two villains. One of them's obviously Puppet, or Charlie. He's one of the antagonists for the movie. And the second one, believe it or not, is actually Michael Afton. Yeah, so in the movies, William now has two children, Vanessa Afton and Michael Afton. And Michael Afton is the second antagonist for the movie. Charlie's got her own plan going on where she wants to kill all the adults in town. And then Michael Afton has a plan where he wants to essentially take control of the robot animatronic, or the toy animatronics, because Charlie controls them. Since the puppet controls them during their performance, she also controls them even when they're, you know, all evil and stuff. But once Charlie pretty much loses control at the end of the movie, or, well, that's a spoiler. Michael Afton wants all control to be his so that he can continue his father's legacy. He can continue Williams Afton's legacy and have the animatronics kill everybody in the town. Which is like, I'm curious to see, like, again, we have like no idea what kind of father William was like to Vanessa or Michael Afton now. And it's implied he was abusive, right? Or at least super controlling. They didn't have a good relationship. At least Vanessa and him didn't have a good relationship. But she's like really scared of him, but it doesn't imply why. Like, did he hurt her? Like, what did he do that made her so scared of him? Is it just the fact that he is a killer? Did he threaten her a lot as a kid? Did he physically or even verbally abuse them? You know, I don't think it's implied he was a weirdo. You know, he didn't do any of that stuff to his kids, which is like, okay, that's fine. You don't, I mean, he doesn't have to be that sinister and evil, you know, which is fine by me. But it is implied he was not a good man, or not even good to his kids. But we don't know what that's like. And now we have Michael Afton, who is just as psychotic as his father, and he wants to continue William Afton's legacy and just kill a bunch of people. And he wants to control the toy animatronics to do that. So it's just like, I don't know. They need to work on the motivation. Hopefully in the third movie we get more backstory about like what kind of a man William was, and like why Michael Afton worships him but Vanessa doesn't. You know, I think we need some of that, because the motivations don't make very much sense still. They're getting better, but they still don't make that much sense. So we need more of that. Have you ever played Fazbear's Revamp 2 in Roblox? No, I have not. Actually, I don't have Roblox. So I saw somebody mention Corey's camp. We had some YouTuber cameos in the movie, but they were very surprising, like Corey returning again. And at FazFest, you could see Dawko, 8-Bit Ryan, Razbowski, and Baz. Really? I didn't see them. I guess I didn't look hard enough, I guess. I saw Corey, because like he was the cab driver again. They pretty much did the same bit they did from the first movie in this movie, where Abby takes the robots with her in the what's it called, in the cab. So it was a funny bit. But I didn't see the others. Oh, speaking of Easter eggs, so obviously, okay, you guys are gonna love this. Actually, some of you probably don't even know who she is, but I'm gonna say it anyways because she was huge when I was a kid. Okay, so Ellen Goff voiced Toy Freddy in the movie, and he pretty much just did the glam rock Freddy voice, but he kind of sounded like, gonna sound mean, but he sounded like a fat version of a glam rock Freddy. You know, he just sounded like, it was pretty much that voice, but you could tell he sounded a bit, you know, heftier, you know, the character. So it did that voice. Matt Pat was the voice of Toy Bonnie, which you never would have known because for some reason they chose to pitch up Matt Pat's voice. So it's really high pitched, so you can kind of barely tell it's Matt Pat. You can't really tell. Like, it would be pretty difficult to tell if you didn't already know that was Matt Pat. Toy Chica, this one's hilarious. Probably a lot of you probably don't even know who this is, but Toy Chica, the voice of Toy Chica was Megan Fox. And if you don't know who that is, if you've seen the first live action if you've seen the live action Transformers movies, especially the first one and the second one, she's the love interest for Sam Witwicky. I think her name's Michaela in the Transformers movie. She's Michaela. And she did the voice of Toy Chica. And that's just kind of funny to me because at that time she used to be like a supermodel turned actress, you know, one of those kind of actresses in Hollywood, or actors in Hollywood as well. There were a few guys too, but it's just kind of funny, you know. And then since then she's kind of like had some crazy moment, not crazy moments, but she's kind of gone off the deep end. Like I think she's part of a cult or something, or she does some like weird blood ritual with her husband. She mentioned it's bizarre. It's bizarre, but it's just so funny that she's Toy Chica. I don't know why, of all people. Oh man, it's hilarious. But there's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie. And the puppet can do something really interesting in this movie. So I guess I'll go over the plot a bit first. Actually, let me go over the plot a bit. So, as I stated, at the beginning of the movie, Charlie is murdered and she possesses the puppet. And then it cuts to the present day, like a few years. Actually, it doesn't say how long it has been since the first movie. I imagine like a year or two. It's been like a year or two since the first movie. And Abby, I guess Abby's been talking to all the other kids about Freddy's and how she nearly got killed, and they're like, "Whoa, you're weird. Want to hang out?" Which I thought was kind of like, yeah, that sounds like modern day. Not gonna lie, that kind of sounds like modern day. And also the aunt survived. So if you guys remember in the first movie, Michael and Abby's aunt was trying to take Abby from Mike. She wanted to take full custody from him. And Golden Freddy like attacks her in the movie, and it's implied he killed her, or at least I thought he killed her. And then he takes Abby to the restaurant, and then the whole third act of that movie happens. Well, apparently she survived, and she's in a mental asylum because she's been going around talking about how the robots are real, the animatronics are alive, they're murderous, and all this stuff. And so the town has like gotten really, the whole idea of like Freddy Fazbear's and all that has become really popular ever since she started going around talking about like how she was nearly killed and how the robots are alive and the pizzeria is haunted. And that has like reignited people's interest in the town. They even create a thing called Fazfest, which is pretty much just a celebration of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Even though the restaurant's still closed for some reason and the pizzeria is still closed, the whole town seems to be very interested about Freddy Fazbear's. It's like a little festival. Everybody's dressed up. There's like little games and rides and stuff for kids. It's just a little festival, right? And so these, how do I say it? Okay. So there are there's these three like young adults who run this show where they go and explore like haunted areas, and they're invited by Michael Afton, who is pretending to be a normal security guard, to the first ever Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, which is the toy animatronic pizzeria. And there, they all get murdered by the robots, and the puppet, it's revealed that the puppet has this weird power where she can possess people. And of the three, there are two guys and one girl. The girl actually kind of looks like Vanessa. I thought it was at first in the trailers, but it's not. And the puppet possesses this girl, and it actually, this is where it showed that the movie's really different. Like, it's a lot more serious, a bit more mature, where you see them get killed, and it's not like super violent or anything. You don't see like them actually get torn apart, but like one guy gets like lifted up by, I believe it was Mangle, and he gets like torn to shreds, and he's the camera guy, and when the camera falls on the ground, it's still recording, and you see through the perspective of the camera, and you see like the guy's leg, or like his foot, his arms fall into frame, but they clearly fall like that they've been ripped off. They were clearly ripped off and they fell in front of the camera, which is like, oh my gosh, this is violent. And there's a bit of blood too with it, and it's just like, holy crap, this is so different from the first movie. It's so like violent and like more, it's more serious. It's more mature. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. I think this is more so of the catering to the older FNAF fans, the ones who really like the more dark and serious aspect of the games. Or not serious, but you know what I mean. The more, the darker parts of it with the story and everything. And they all get killed. There's like even a scene where like one dude falls into like a little boat ride that the original restaurant had. And there are these mini puppet, like there's like these little dolls of puppet that are alive, and they all go into the water and they kill this dude who falls in the water, and like a geyser of blood just comes gushing out of the like forming in the water. It's like really like, holy crap, this is so different. Like, this is so different from like the first movie where it felt really safe and very very generic and childish. But this movie, it takes it to a whole new level. Like this is what you expect from a sequel, right? Like a sequel is supposed to top the original movie or the first movie, and this one definitely does. It's really good. Like I said, 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty freaking good. I really like it. So yeah, so Charlie possesses this girl, and I gotta give props to the actress the actress who plays the girl she puppet possesses, because she like has to like spasm and squirm around, kind of like she's currently being possessed, and like she's all like choking on her own like saliva and stuff, and it's like she's like twitching around like a possessed, like just like a possessed person would, you'd expect, and it's like, holy, oh my gosh, this is so like so dark, but it was so good. Like I really liked it. It was really good. So puppet possesses her, and when you get possessed by the puppet, you like turn into the like a human version of the puppet. So like your face turns completely white. You got the tears going down, like like a really dark red lipstick around the face, and you got that smile the puppet's got, and then like your whole body kind of turns into this like into like the black body of the puppet, and it looks really good. Like it actually looks pretty creepy, and I'm very impressed with the effect, with the costumes and designs in this movie. Really, really impressed, especially of the animatronics. Like the toys look incredible, and so do the wizards. Like they look like you ripped them straight out of the game and brought them into real life, and they just look incredible. Magma talking about tearing people apart. Meanwhile, in the back, William flirts with Vanessa. What? That's his daughter. When did he do that? I did not notice that at all. I don't know about you, man. I did not notice any flirting in this movie, all right? I hope not. I sure hope not. McKenna Grace is Lisa in the movie. She is the one who got possessed by the puppet. McKenna Grace. So that's the actress's name. Thank you, Witty Gamer, for that. I did not know that. Yeah, she did a great job. Like, I thought... I kind of figured in the trailers when they showed her and her two friends that run the show with her, I figured they weren't going to be in the movie very much. I had a feeling that they were just going to be there to get killed off, and then that was the end. And the two guys definitely did just get killed off, but she kind of played a bit more of an important role because she gets possessed, and so she's the new host of the puppet. And the puppet tricks Abby to go to the restaurant so that she has this plan. So okay, the animatronics can't leave the pizzeria because there's this failsafe that if they step out of the restaurant, they're instantly drained of all their power and then they shut down. So the robots can't leave. And the puppet knows this, and she wants to disable the protocol. And she does this by luring Abby to the restaurant, and Vanessa figures out that this is all going on. So she goes to the restaurant, and it's revealed that Vanessa is actually, when Vanessa was a kid, she was best friends with Charlie. And, she kind of somewhat let her die to some extent, because at the beginning of the movie, you see young Vanessa and young Charlie like talking at the pizzeria, and Charlie notices a kid being lured away by William Afton in the Yellow Rabbit suit, and she tries to stop Charlie from going to save the kid, but she eventually Charlie says let go, and she runs off, and she doesn't go to help stop her or tell her what's going on because she doesn't want to rat out her father. I imagine that's most likely the case. And so the puppet remembers Vanessa even as an adult, and I guess it was Vanessa used to use this music box that would essentially keep Charlie asleep because the ghost spirit was wandering around, and it was getting more and more angry, wanting revenge on the parents who pretty much let her die. And she used this music box to keep her at bay. But then Michael Afton comes and he destroys the music box, which allows the puppet to be free and to take possession of these girls, which is all part of what Michael Afton's plan. He wants Puppet to have control so that he can take control from her, and then I imagine use the robots to kill everybody in town. Well, actually, now that I think about it, he doesn't want to use the robots. He just wants the robots to roam free and kill it. So he doesn't necessarily want to control them. That's a mistake on my part. He doesn't want to control them. He just wants Charlie to be free so that she'll go and like kill everybody in the town, because he wants to continue William Afton's legacy. All right. Now let's see. Where did I leave off? Oh yeah. So Vanessa goes to the pizzeria, to try and save Abby, and then she gets pretty much taken prisoner. She gets captured. And Vanessa, or no, not Vanessa, sorry. Charlie threatens to kill Vanessa, or sorry, I'm getting all confused. Charlie threatens to kill Abby if Vanessa doesn't free the robots. And Abby doesn't know any of this is going on. This is all happening behind the scenes. Abby thinks that the toy animatronics are possessed by the spirits of the children who are possessing the original animatronics from the first movie. So she's having fun with them, thinking, you know, oh, we're just having a good time. And Toy Chica, so she's specifically friends with Toy Chica. They're really, they hired Megan Fox to do the voice of Toy Chica, and they're taking advantage of what I imagine that hefty paycheck was. Because I guarantee you, Megan Fox got a lot of money to do the voice in this, because she was a pretty well-known name. And Toy Chica recommend. So Abby's got this science fair that she goes to, and her teacher is kind of a dick and doesn't think Abby's very good at doing robotics. So he destroys her project, and then Abby comes running to Chica to pretty much like, he destroyed my project. And then Toy Chica's like, well, I'll be your project, but I can't leave unless you disable our safety lock or whatever. And so they use Abby and Vanessa to basically disable the feature that keeps the animatronics at the restaurant. And then they all go free wandering the town. And it's here where it's, for some reason, it's revealed, like, the puppet, after they're free, Puppet chooses to leave the body of the girl he possesses. Or Lisa, that was the character's name. She chooses to leave Lisa's body, and she, for some reason, wants to take possession of Abby. This happens later in the movie. I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I don't understand why Abby in particular. Maybe I forgot or I missed it, but like, there wasn't really a good explanation for why Puppet wants to take control of Abby's body and use Abby as her host. That was kind of just thrown in there. I don't really, yeah, it doesn't make any sense why they did that. I don't know. Does anybody know? Anybody in chat? Do we know why? Wasn't it Lisa that turned off the music box? I thought it was implied Michael Afton did it. She saw the music box, but it was broken, I'm pretty sure, right? I don't think she broke it. Wasn't it Lisa that turned it off? Did she turn it off? Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe she did turn it off. Yeah, because she heard music earlier in the movie. That's what led her to the puppet's box. You're right. I think you're right. Sorry, Lucy the Cool. That's a good point. Yeah, no, I'm wrong. It wasn't. Michael Afton didn't destroy the music box. Vanessa says somebody must have destroyed it, which is why I thought somebody did destroy it. But Lucy the Cool brought up that Lisa actually accidentally turns off the music box because she doesn't know. She just hears music and it lures her to Puppet's box. And once she turns it off, that's when the puppet attacks her and possesses her. So that's that. You're right. I'm wrong about that. I completely forgot. Magma, what if I was voice acting Cassidy? I don't know, man. I'm not looking for voice actors at the moment. Sorry. Abby can talk to the spirits, so maybe that's why Charlie wanted to possess her. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think they mentioned... I think I'd have to rewatch it, which I do plan on doing. This is a good movie. I want to rewatch it. They might have mentioned that the reason Charlie wants to possess Abby is because of her connection with the robots. I think. Don't quote me on that. I think that's the case, but I'm not too sure. I don't remember exactly if that's true or not. But anyways, the robots are wandering the town. I think they only kill one person. I think Toy Chica kills Abby's teacher, which is freaking brutal, dude. Like, she grabs his head and just crushes it in her hands. You don't see her crush it, right? But like, you see his feet like twitching from like a feet angle. So for all you fetish freaks out there, there's a feet angle. And you see him like twitching, and then she just crushes his head and like throws his body on the ground. And I'm like, my gosh, this movie's awesome. No, but again, adding to that, this movie is so much darker than the first one. It's so much more mature. I know I keep saying that. That's the only word I can keep thinking to say. I'm not a linguist, right? I don't know different words to say. But yeah, I liked it a lot. This one very much not caters, but it appeals a lot to the older fans of the franchise. The ones who like the more dark and sinister aspect of like the original story. Like Omni-Man style. Exactly like Omni-Man style, except you don't see the actual head explode, because then it would be rated R if you did that. And they very much want to get kids to come see it. And you should go see it. You should definitely go see this movie in theater. I recommend it. It gives my stamp of approval. The magma stamp of approval. Go see this movie. It's really good. 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. Did you see Shadow Bonnie? I did see Shadow Bonnie. I think, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are a lot of Easter eggs in this movie, of course. Shadow Bonnie, there's a picture drawn by a kid, and it's in the pizzeria, in the office of the FNAF 2 pizzeria. Or the Toy Animatronics pizza. And I think I saw Shadow Bonnie. There's a picture of Shadow Bonnie some kid drew. So that was kind of cool to see that. Okay, let me go back to describing the story first. So, the animatronics are free. They only kill one person. Mike and Vanessa are able to save others from being killed by the toy animatronics. And then, Mike actually figures out a way to shut down the robots by disconnecting them from Puppet's control, which that's kind of dumb. Okay, I gotta be honest, that's kind of dumb, because like, how would Mike figure out how to do it? He does it by accident. Like, he's just going through the computer at the Toy Animatronics restaurant, and he comes across a pretty much turn-off switch that disables the control of the animatronics to the puppet, and he shuts them down so they don't kill anybody except Abby's teacher, which is kind of funny. They make the teacher's shows up a few times in the movie, and he's kind of like a jerk to Abby. Like, he doesn't have any faith in her ability to make a good like robotics robot for the what do you call it, for the science fair. And then he's the one who gets killed, so that's kind of funny. That's something they do with every horror movie. Does that. They give you like a douchebag asshole like character, and then they're like the one to get killed later on, so like you don't feel bad about it. Like, okay, I get it, but like at the same time, it makes it scarier if you're gonna have our the characters we do like get killed. You know? So, but after they disable it, they go and save Abby, who is possessed by the puppet. And the way they're able to save her is, so early in the movie, Mike visits Henry. So Henry is in this movie. Again, I don't know if he's like friends with William, or if like they're business partners, or if he was just an employee who worked with Henry, but he's also a robotics engineer like William. And Puppet, it's implied he wasn't very good of a father either. Like, not that he like abused her or anything like William did, it sounds like, but he was very negligent. He didn't pay too much attention to her because he was so focused in his work. And because of that, it allowed her to get killed. And he pretty much figured out it must have been William Afton who killed her, because years later, after the first restaurant closes, several kids go missing from the new restaurant, and then he's like, must be William Afton. So he pretty much pieces it together, but of course nobody believes him because there's no evidence to suggest it. But Mike visits him, and he gives Mike a music box that Charlie loved to listen to when she was a baby. It helped put her to sleep. So they save Abby by playing the music box, and the puppet pretty much leaves her body and then just like runs off. And of course, rather than chasing the puppet to finish her off, they pull the stereotypical, oh, we're dumb characters now all of a sudden, and he closes the music box. And then, now granted, he goes to help Abby, right? He helps her up because she's not, she just got like possessed by a freaking evil spirit. And so he's making sure Abby's okay. And then the toy animatronics are reactivated, and they attack Mike Schmidt. They attack Mike, Abby, and Vanessa at his house. And that's when Michael Afton reveals himself, and he's like, hey, it's me. Hello, sister, to Vanessa. And then she's like, Michael. And then Mike's like, what the hell is this? And she's like, oh, she didn't tell you. I'm her brother. So Michael Afton is now in the movie. He is the son of William Afton, and he is Vanessa's sister. And that's when he pretty much goes like, villain mode and being like, my master plan is to have the robots roam the city so that they can kill anybody in their path, continuing our father's legacy. There's like this weird cultish energy going on between the Afton family. Like Vanessa has a lot of flashbacks or dreams about William Afton and when she was younger, and he keeps being like, you are my kid, you are it's weird. It's almost like he planned on having kids just so he can do evil things with his children, you know, kind of raise them to be evil like him. It's very cultish. It almost seems like this is not more of a family but a cult. But Michael Afton also is like, he tries to appeal to Vanessa. He's like, look, we are both William Afton's children. This is what we were meant for. We could be just like him, continue our father's legacy. And she's like, hell no, I ain't no evil. I ain't evil like you, Bill Skarsgård looking ass. Because the guy, I don't know who the actor is who plays Michael Afton, but I thought it was Bill Skarsgård at first, not gonna lie. I was like, oh, this dude looks creepy. Must be Bill. Must be Pennywise. Must be Nosferatu. But yeah, so she says no, and she's like, nah, bummer, kill them. So the toy animatronics attack, and dun da da da, the Avengers show up. Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, and Foxy. It literally had an Avengers Assemble moment where the original animatronics come to the rescue, and they destroy the toy animatronics. And then Michael escapes, and I forgot to mention, but throughout the movie, Mike is trying to like help Vanessa get over her trauma, and it's been revealed that there's a lot she still hasn't told him. So so if you remember in the first movie, she doesn't tell him that her father killed Garrett and that the animatronics want to kill Abby and make her like them. He doesn't tell him any of that until like the end of the movie when it's almost too late, right? So she's kind of untrustworthy. And in this movie, there's a lot more she hasn't told. She didn't tell Mike about Charlie. She didn't tell him about the original pizzeria. She didn't tell him about Henry. She didn't tell him about Michael Afton. So by the end of this movie, Mike Schmidt is kind of done with Vanessa. He's like, look, I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to keep my family alive and well. You're a problem, and you need to stay away from us. So at the end of the movie, when they're all saved and Michael Afton escapes, it's kind of a sad ending where Mike is like, leave us alone. Don't leave us. Leave my family alone, Vanessa. We don't want anything to do with you. And it's kind of sad because she's kind of like left there by herself, all like sad. And then this is kind of, this is like poorly done, but like the puppet, because earlier they saved Abby, right? The puppet, it leaves her body and it kind of runs off. And then at the end of the movie, when Vanessa's standing there by herself, all sad, the puppet comes back and it possesses Vanessa. So the end of the movie is Vanessa's face turning into the puppet's face, basically, or like the human version of it, like getting the makeup, the tears, the black eyes with the white pupils, which look really freaking cool. Though they're more like yellowish now. They're not like white like in the games, but pretty cool. Sad ending, and then the movie ends. It's pretty much like that. Again, not a very good necessarily breakdown of the plot. I really recommend for yourself to go see it to get a better understanding, but still really good, really good. Huge improvements than the first movie. It took a lot of the criticisms I had and fixed them, which I think that's awesome. I greatly appreciate it. Not that they did it for me in particular. I'm just saying I appreciate that they actually heard people's criticisms and chose to address them and like maybe fix them rather than just be like snobby and be like, oh well, this is our movie, if you don't like it, you don't watch it. They actually listen to criticism, right? Which is really cool. You don't see too many filmmakers in Hollywood do that these days. But yeah, I want to talk. Actually, I'll read some chat first before I talk about it. I want to talk about Vanessa and they're really the most interesting parts of it. I mean, there's the parts with Henry and Mike Schmidt, right? Were pretty interesting, but they don't really go too in depth besides just letting you know that Henry is Charlie's father. He wishes he was a better father. He's sad that she was killed, obviously. And that's pretty... Oh, there's also now that I think about it, I just remembered. So there's two end credit scenes for this movie. Like you know how like Marvel does the end credit scenes. There's like two for this movie. Well, one and a half. I'll explain. So they set up for the third movie, right? So at the end of the movie, these guys break into the FNAF 1 movie restaurant because the building's going to be demolished and they want to find anything they could use for their haunted house attraction. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. FNAF 3, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Um, and they stumble across a back room, a secret room that nobody else has access to. But because the building's falling apart and because the ghost children, oh my gosh, I just forgot to mention. So, no, I did mention it. So after the animatronics save Abby, Vanessa, and Mike, their bodies get destroyed, and so the ghost children are free. They go to heaven. But because of that, they can no longer keep William Afton trapped in the FNAF 1 movie pizzeria. So these guys break into the pizzeria to find anything they could use for a haunted house before the building gets demolished, and they stumble across the secret room where the ghost children have been keeping William Afton prisoner in the spring lock suit. And so if you remember the yellow rabbit suit from the first movie, it looks almost exactly like Springtrap in FNAF 3 now. Like it's molded, it's yellow, it's green, like that greenish gold color. It's disgusting looking. It's Springtrap now. They find Springtrap at the end in the original movie, and they're setting up that they're going to be a haunted house attraction that William Afton Springtrap is going to be the main attraction for, just like FNAF 3, the game. So that's pretty cool. And then there's another end credit scene. It takes place during the credits. Like, it's more like audio and not like an actual end credit scene. So while the credits are going, Henry records this tape for Michael Afton as like a warning message. And it's cool little Easter egg that it's recorded like the audio recordings in the Pizzeria Simulator game, where he like audio tape one. I forget exactly how it goes, but it's recorded in that same style from Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, FNAF 6 basically. And it's Henry warning Michael Mike Schmidt that the puppet is still out there and still alive. So I'm guessing as Vanessa, so the puppet is possessing Vanessa, and it sounds like Charlie hunts her father down, and it's not confirmed, but the audio makes it sound like she murders him. It sounds like Charlie murders Henry, her father. So she's still out there. So I imagine in the third movie, Mike's gonna have to help Vanessa stop Charlie and defeat Springtrap or William Afton. So there's gonna be like three main things Mike's got to do in the next movie. It's like, oh gosh, this man's gonna have like to go on vacation by the end of this. Poor Mike Schmidt, man. But yeah, so they set up for the next movie. And this movie, while everybody survives and comes out pretty much unscathed, it is kind of a sad ending because Mike no longer wants anything to do with Vanessa because all she brings is trouble. He can't trust her because she's not telling him everything. She didn't tell him about Vanessa, wait, did I say Vanessa, right? Yeah, he can't trust Vanessa and he can't trust her because she hasn't told him anything about the original pizzeria. She hasn't told him anything about Charlie or her brother Michael Afton. So he's like, I can't trust you. There's nothing I can't trust you. You're a danger to be around, and you're gonna hurt me and Abby. So it's better you just not be in our lives anymore. So it's really sad, actually. Really sad that but that's how it ends pretty much. Henry probably isn't dead, and Maurice so prisoner in his daughter. More so prisoner in his I don't know. Can Puppet? I don't think it's implied Puppet can possess two people at once. So I really don't know. We'll find out in the third movie if he actually killed Henry or not. It'll be interesting to see if Charlie did or not. Theory for the end of the third movie. Abby gets injured during the end of this movie, which leads to her to be in a coma in the hospital, which she is trapped in her dreams in a room with the nightmares. Oh, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. That's a good theory. I like that. I don't know. We'll see. You're right, because I guarantee you there are supposed to be 3 FNAF movies. They're doing the first 3 games as movies. And because of how successful they are, we would be fools to think they're not going to make more movies after the 3rd one. I guarantee you they will make more movies. There's going to be a FNAF 4, a 5, a 6. And also, you know why I think that? You also want to know why I think that? So there's a little Easter egg in this movie. So Vanessa does that dream theory thing Mike was doing from the first movie, where she like goes in her dreams to like confront past trauma. So she does it to confront her father, right? And there she like turns into a little kid when her father starts like yelling at her, when William starts yelling at her and stuff. And she hides in like a closet in his office. And in the closet, it's revealed that William is building, or has fully built, Circus Baby. So the sister location is at least referenced in the movie. Circus Baby is a thing. She is in the closet, well, that sounds funny, right? Ah, she's gay. No. So, in the dream, at least, Vanessa sees Circus Baby, which in the dreams, I imagine that must have been real, because the dreams are supposed to be of memories. So she must have actually really saw Circus Baby in William's office, or his little lab in her house. So it's possible either in the 3rd movie, or we'll get a 4th or 5th movie that takes place possibly in the sister location. It's possible. It's possible for the 4th FNAF movie if they planned on making it. Have they announced a 4th movie? I know there's going to be 3. They announced there was always going to be 3 movies, but I have no clue if there's going to be 4 or more. At this rate, I hope there are more, because they're pretty good, but at the same time, you got to be careful. If you break the trilogy and try to do like a 4th movie, it doesn't usually go well. I mean, how often has a 4th entry in a film franchise done very well? None that I could think of. But yeah. Number 1, why is Michael Afton evil? Why is he so unexplained? Why are they stretching the plot this thin? And why does it feel like we got nothing from the movie? I wouldn't say we got nothing from the movie, but you're definitely right. So I don't mind them making Michael Afton evil. Like, I think people need to get over the fact that this movie is not going to be like 1-for-1 with the lore from the games. And that's fine. It's okay if the movie isn't like exactly like the lore. The lore from the games is screwed at this point. There's so much crap now. Like, it's so complicated, so convoluted and messy. I don't mind that they're making the lore more simplistic for the movies. So I don't mind them making Michael Afton evil. My friend also has a theory that they're gonna make Michael Afton like a redeemable character. Like, he'll go through a redemption arc in the 3rd movie where he like maybe becomes a hero and a good guy. So we'll see. I don't know. That's just a theory. A game theory. No, shut up, Michael. Anyways. So you're right. Michael Afton is evil, technically. He's not explained very well. They don't do a good job at... The movie still struggles to give character motivation for some characters. Like, all the characters from the first movie, except for William, it actually... it does better this time in giving them character motivation and stuff. Like, Abby misses her friends, which is why she goes to the pizzeria. Mike is really trying his best to make everything normal again, so he doesn't want to do, and he doesn't believe Vanessa initially when like she's saying that there's another restaurant and that what's her face, Abby's been there. Vanessa is very much traumatized by her experiences. She's trying to get over them and make amends for them. There's tension between Mike and Vanessa because Mike learns she's not telling him everything. He didn't tell him about Henry or about Charlie or about the original restaurant, or that there were more murdered kids other than the original 5. And so he's kind of like, there's a lot of tension and like character. It's built up really well, but follower of Jesus Christ, you are correct. There's a lot of problems with it, and the stretching of the plot. The plot does get stretched a lot. I don't think the plot gets stretched a lot, but there's a lot of exposition. Like, there's like, to solve everything, there's just a lot of like, we must do this and now we must do this, and then everybody explains what they have to do rather than like discovering kind of what to do. The plot is a lot more convoluted in this one. The first movie was pretty simplistic with its plot, whereas this one is very much like there's like multiple character plots going on, and they're all converging on each other for the finale. I don't mind it. I think it does it pretty all right, but I could see why people would think the plot's super thin. What was another criticism? Why does it feel like we got nothing from the movie? I don't know. I disagree. I think from the movie, it progressed the story that they're telling. Like, it's not like nothing's happened. We've set up a lot for the third movie. I'd honestly argue the ending for the movie where like Vanessa gets possessed and like Mike and her pretty much break up. They're not dating, but let's be honest, they're getting close to being a couple together. They quote unquote break up, and Mike wants nothing to do with Vanessa anymore. So we're setting up a lot for the movie. But that ending of Vanessa like getting possessed and then her face turning into the puppet and then it ends, it reminds me of how Across the Spider-Verse ended, where it kind of just ends abruptly. Like almost like it's an episode of a TV show, and it's like, whoa, there's still a lot of movie to go through. What are you doing? Obviously, this movie does conclude. We defeat the puppet. We defeat Michael Afton. The original animatronics come to the rescue of our main characters. They defeat the toy animatronics, and the children are free. They get to go to heaven. And so that's good, right? That's really good. There's obviously an end to the movie, but that last scene of Puppet possessing Vanessa, it kind of feels forced and like almost like, oh, that was kind of an abrupt ending, So I don't know. That's how I feel though. It almost feels like the Across the Spider-Verse. What if they introduced Remnant? I hope they don't. I really hope. I want them to just leave it that William Afton is a psychopath. He's a psychotic killer who just likes to kill people because he gets a sick infatuation from it. And that's his motivation. That's all it has to be. Don't do this Remnant thing. Don't do this thing of like melting metals together so you can collect Remnant, so it can give you like immortality. I know that's ironic coming from me, considering Twisted Truth, I wrote it to involve Remnant and like immortality and stuff. But like, mine's a shitty cartoon. This is like a well thought out movie by professionals, So like, I really hope they don't do Remnant, but I can see them doing the Remnant thing. Did you see the YouTuber cameos, Corey? Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see Daco or 8-Bit Ryan or any of the other guys. I did see the Corey one, because that one's pretty in your face, right? Like, he's the cab driver in the movie again. The marionette is creepy. Oh, dude, I love how creepy this movie. I actually jumped in my seat a few times. I felt like really creeped out. Like the puppet itself is creepy. The design of the puppet is amazing. Again, it feels like you ripped it straight from the games and added it to the movie, or to real life, right? Because they obviously built a real puppet model for the movie. And it looks good. And then when the puppet possesses people and they turn into like this half human, half puppet like creature, it looks really creepy and it's really, really cool. Like I might do speed paints of like Abby and Lisa possessed by the puppet, because it looks really, really cool how they did it. Who do you think Garrett will be animatronic wise? I personally vote for Lefty. That'd be pretty funny. I don't know. Garrett's only mentioned a few times in this movie because, again, Mike's trying to get over what happened, right? He's trying to move past it. He pretty much put it all to bed in the last movie, and he's really trying to move on. Him and Abby are doing a lot better. They talk now. They have a great relationship. One thing I will say that I didn't really like about this, how this movie started, it's not really addressed, but like in the first movie, it ends with Vanessa in a coma, right? She gets stabbed by William, and then she goes into a coma. And at the end of the movie, Mike's talking to her while she's in the hospital, and then him and Abby leave. In this movie, she's already awake. So, like, clearly some time has gone by, and Vanessa woke up from the coma, but we don't see it. It just kind of starts with her dreaming, and then she wakes up, right? So it's like, I would have liked to have seen what the result of the coma would have done. Maybe like her waking up. I don't know. It just feels like it happened out of nowhere. It's almost like the writers were like, yeah, we don't know what to do with her being in a coma, so we're just going to start the movie with her already awake. And like, okay. And it's like, okay, that's fine. The movie was still fun and good, but it's just kind of like, I feel like they should have did something with it. At least like maybe showed her waking up. I don't know. maybe that's just me. Again, they're more like nitpicks than they are genuine criticism. Will Magma, I gotta ask 2 things. Do you intend on watching the Iron Lung movie directed by Markiplier? He also stars in the movie, so I do actually want to see that. My friend, for some reason, who's not even that big of a Markiplier fan, or even like a FNAF fan, but like, he really wants to see the movie. I think he thinks it's interesting. And I think it's just interesting too. I'm definitely gonna go see it when it comes. Have you watched the new It show, Welcome to Derry? I've only seen the first 4 episodes of Welcome to Derry. I haven't caught up yet. Between animating episode 11 of Twisted Freddy, and then my family's bigger fans of Stranger Things, so when that dropped, we watched all those episodes. And then I went to see a comedy on Tuesday called Fackham Hall. It's a British comedy, but it's really funny. It's really funny. I like it. Inappropriate though, so I don't recommend it if you're not a. It's a movie you shouldn't watch, but if you're a kid, it's a movie you shouldn't watch. But if you're gonna watch it, make sure your parents aren't there, you know. So it's a funny movie though. But no, I have not finished Welcome to Derry yet. I have to catch up on that. Which is funny because I hear they finally showed Pennywise. And like for those 4 episodes, I've been like bitching about like, where's Pennywise? Where's my boy? Send in the clown. I want to see this thing. So I gotta catch up with that. Me and my brother have been watching. We gotta watch it. There's some. Why do I feel that Garrett was supposed to be the puppet until it was changed to Charlie? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, again, while they're not sticking exactly to the lore from the games, they're taking a lot of the inspiration for the story is the lore from the game. So that's kind of nice. I don't mind. Honestly, I'm gonna say it. I don't mind if Garrett's not an animatronic. I don't think he should be, because you got to think about it. The other kids got murdered at the pizzeria. We don't really know where Garrett got murdered. For all we know, he might have been murdered in the car William kidnapped him in. So for all we know, maybe he should only possess the car. You know, like we don't know. So I don't mind if Garrett isn't an animatronic. Maybe he's one of the. It's implied there are more victims, right? There's not just the 5 from the first movie's pizzeria. There's more victims. So maybe they'll go on to possess like the Phantom animatronics. Who knows? We'll see. I love your design for Puppet Magma. Thank you. I'm glad you do. A lot of people love my puppet design. I don't know why. I totally know why. And I did it on purpose. After the movie released, Dawko released a FNAF 2 movie song called Dance Forever. The song was so good, and I'm pretty sure Dawko would do another FNAF movie song for FNAF 3. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really listen to the FNAF songs anymore. I know it's ironic coming from me because I make cartoons based on Five Nights at Freddy's, but I can't listen to very many of the songs anymore because they're kind of, I don't know, now that I'm like an adult and like the franchise has been going on for a while, every time I hear like those songs, I kind of like cringe to myself a bit. They're not bad songs, but just like, I don't know, they're kids like the songs, right? Like I like all the old songs, like the Living Tombstone songs, which is like, for the record, It's Been So Long is the end credit song for this movie. They did the I'm pretty sure all these movies are gonna have the Living Tombstone songs at the end of the movie, which is fine by me. Those songs are banger, but I can't really listen to any of the newer songs. The only one who I can kind of listen to their new songs based on FNAF is what's his name? Nate Wants to Battle, because he does like rock songs. And I like rock a lot, especially like that 2000s kind of rock style, and he does that, and so I like his songs a lot. I don't listen to like all the new ones, but like sometimes I'll come across them and go, this is a banger. But yeah, that's cool. That's the movies are very much keeping the franchise alive. I know some people like the new games and stuff. They like Security Breach or Secret of the Mimic, which I can't say a Secret of the Mimic's bad. I've never played it, and I didn't watch anybody play it. I just could not get into it. I just don't care. Secret of the Mimic. And then not Pizzeria. What's the other one? Security Breach. Security Breach was just very disappointing. At this point, I look forward to the movies and the one-off games like Into the Pit. Into the Pit, in my opinion, is one of the best FNAF games out there. I thought in the Into the Pit game was really, really good. I love the 8-bit style. I love the different gameplay, almost like the it's not called, I don't think this is fully called Doll's Eye View, or the Dollhouse View. No, it's not, because that would be like more stuff. But I like the game. I like the game. Can you make a tutorial? Make a tutorial on what? What do I make a tutorial on? Magmarin, these movies provide something you have yet to provide enough of. Called fan service. P.S. Listen to the song called Face Reality. Not a FNAF. Alright, I'll take a listen to it. How have I not provide fan service? What are you talking about? I made Puppet hot. I made Chica look like an emo goth girl. That's fan service, right? Oh wait, that's the other kind of service. What do you mean fan service? Like, I feel like my videos are pretty lean. Like, they reference the games and stuff. I give references to, like, other stuff. I keep adding, like, references to other things going on in the internet right now. Like, how many times have I added Amazing Digital Circus references? You know? I don't even watch Digital Circus that much, but I just know people love it, so I'll throw a little reference to it in there. I add references. Don't you? The remake version of Puppet is so cute. Yeah, I knew people would like the version of Puppet. There's like some people. There's a lot of gooners who like my Puppet. I kind of regret. No, I don't regret the design, but just like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. I think it's funny. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's funny. But yeah, I do. I'm glad you think Puppet's cute. Tales from the Toy Box. I'm glad you like her. I do really like the design I gave her from the new design. You know, ignoring all the funny jokes about people like being in love with my design of Puppet. I do really like the design. I thought it came out really. And I know some people were mad at me that I made Puppet taller than the animatronics, but I think this movie implies she is taller than the animatronics. So it's like, I did it right. Suck it. I was correct. I didn't mean to be correct. It was an accident. Not really. That was just a pure creative decision. But, you know, it turns out I was right. So, yeah, take it. They ain't thick enough? Brother, what do you mean? Puppet is enough thick, alright? Now, granted, maybe I can make Chica a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? But Puppet's good enough, right? I'm not trying to, like, sexualize my characters. I just create them to be nice looking. That's all. You know, it's like seeing... Like, nobody wants to see ugly actors in a movie. You want to see pretty actors or actresses, you know? That's all it is. That's all I'm doing. It's no different than what movies have been doing for centuries. Or decades. I don't think movies have been around. Maybe they haven't. No, where are the honkers? Listen, brother. You're gooning too hard right now. Careful, your goon session is showing. But if Garrett will be lefty, does that mean when FNAF movie 6 will come out, then Charlotte will not die in the fire like in FNAF game? That's assuming they make a 6th movie. We don't know. I know there's going to be a 3rd movie. This movie has also made like a lot so far at the box office. Hopefully it keeps doing well. Luckily, Blumhouse is smart at making movies for cheap. So I bet this movie will most definitely make its money back and then some. It's definitely going to make some profit. But there's a lot. Apparently, Zootopia 2 is blowing up at the theaters right now. It's already over $1 billion, and it hasn't even been out for a full month yet. That's freaking crazy. So please go see the FNAF movie, the new one. Don't let this thing... Don't just wait till streaming. Please, help your theaters, for crying out loud. It's a fun movie. You'll enjoy the experience on the big screen. Sorry if I keep asking this question. Will you ever see Springtrap / Michael Afton? Just no longer in the Twisted series because he died in Twisted Nightmare. I really like his character. You might see him in other stuff. I don't have anything planned at the moment, but, like, you might see some new stuff. I probably will make because, you know, the movie just came out, and I've kind of been cooking up some ideas for, like, movie-based animations. And I'll be honest, I kind of like the guy they got to be Michael Afton in the FNAF movie. He's pretty good. I mean, he looks like he's creepy, right? The guy's supposed to be sinister, evil, and creepy. And the guy they got did a good job at representing them. And funny enough, he's wearing purple. Like, he's literally the purple guy. But yeah, you'll see Michael Afton in Springtrap. I mean, you've already starting to see Springtrap because of the Twisted Freddy remake. Hell, you're gonna see Michael Afton again in the Twisted Freddy remake. Remember, he's in Springtrap, so he'll probably show up at the end, just like in the original. Going to see FNAF 2 again, hopefully Tuesday. Hey, there you go. Yeah, I might go see it again too. I have a friend who's out of town, and I want to see it with him because he really likes FNAF 2. As well, not 2 as in the second game only. I mean, as he likes FNAF as well, and I think it would be fun to watch this movie with him. But I don't know. I want to see it again. I do want to see it. It was a good movie. If I make some person laugh on the internet, the performance is worth it. I get you. How do you even know about FNAF the Twisted one? I mean, it was a book. I mean, if you watch MatPat, you've definitely heard of the books before. All right, I'll just read some chat. I don't really know what else to mention about it. It's overall really good. Again, I gotta also say, I gotta respect this movie for not. So obviously William Afton is defeated in the first movie. He's trapped in the Springlock suit, and then the animatronics pull him away and lock him in a back room. And I was actually really surprised they didn't bring him back in this movie. He literally, he always comes back. He literally didn't come back for this movie. Every time we saw the Yellow Rabbit or William Afton, it was either a flashback or Vanessa was dreaming, or it was an hallucination she was having. So they actually, I really expected them to bring him back and force him into the movie just because it's Matthew Lillard, right? And it's what the hell, you're gonna get him in the movie. And then he was in the movie. He actually, even though his character wasn't even though he wasn't a main focus in the movie, the William, how do I explain it? There were a lot of flashbacks with him, right? And like I said, a lot of dreams and hallucinations with William Afton. But we didn't actually see him in the movie. They were all just flashbacks and stuff. So he was actually in this movie more than he was in the first movie, which is kind of funny. I'm pretty sure he was in this movie for longer and more time than the first movie. But he's definitely going to be back in the third one, and he's going to be wearing that. Freaking awesome. The thing looks so good. We saw a little bit of it. It's kind of there's a tarp over it, but you could see through the tarp, and he looks great. Well, I'm excited. I'm very excited to see what they do for the third movie. I'm going to write it over and over again, but Magma, how you feel that there was not Matt Bonnie telling Willard Bonnie he has no face, bro? That would be funny if in the FNAF, in the movie, they reference Willard Bonnie having no face, and I didn't do that in my series. That would have been pretty funny. Let's see. Springtrap should fight Art the Clown. Oh my gosh. Now somebody will make it an animation. Maybe I will. I'm not too familiar with Art the Clown though. I haven't watched Terrorizer. Or I think that's what those movies. Right? Anyway, I haven't watched those movies. I wouldn't know. Can you make a remake version of Jingles the Puppet from Fazbear's Revamp 2? I don't know anything about Fazbear's Revamp 2. I haven't been paying attention to any of the fan-made projects or games, so I don't know who that is. But I'll do some research. I'll take a look, I'll see. I'll think about it. Meme for FNAF Movie 3, because there is Toy Bonnie face and Springtrap as Bunny, I still have... That's what? I don't know. Referencing there. Have you taken a look at the new Absolute Batman comics? If not, they're really good. I'm not a big comic guy. The only comics I've read are the ones based on animated movies. So the Dark Knight Returns, Batman Year One, Under the Red Hood. What do you call it? What's that one that I really like? The Long Halloween. The only one that I have read that isn't an animated movie is the Batman and the Three Jokers, which I know a lot of people who like the comics hate because it's technically part of the continuity of the storyline, and so it's kind of dumb for there to be 3 Jokers. But I kind of like, as a one-off story, I think it's really good, the 3 Jokers. I think it's really good. And I'm saying that not as somebody who's like pays attention to like the comic book storyline and timeline or anything. I'm just saying as like a one-off thing. It was actually really, really good. But no, I'm not familiar with the absolute. I've heard people say it's okay. It's pretty decent, especially compared to a lot of the other newer, crappier comics. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it. I did see somebody dub on some. I got recommended a video of somebody dubbing the comics, so I might watch that, to be honest. Can you do a remake of version of Jingles the Puppet? You asked me that already. I don't know who that is. I don't know why I would do a remake version. I don't even know who Jingles. Jingles sounds like a whole new character, so I don't even know who that is. But I'll. Oh shoot. Apparently, it's from Fazbear's Revamp 2. I'll take a look at what it is though. I feel Phantom Bonnie needs to happen in FNAF 3 as a nod to the fans. I mean, doesn't have to happen, but I know a lot of people do like the idea of Phantom Bonnie. Maybe they'll do it. I don't know, man. I don't mind either way. I don't think they need to do it necessarily, but oh, that reminds me. So Balloon Boy's in this movie, right? Like the actual Balloon Boy, not that little crappy toy from the first movie. And I think it was Mike Schmidt. Yeah, it was Mike. Balloon Boy goes into his office and does that like laughing thing, right? Where it's like ha 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 ha. And then Mike just gets up and just rips the head off of Balloon Boy and throws it out of the office. It was so funny. That's obviously a nod to the fans because everybody hates Balloon Boy. I just love that so much. That was funny. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. Well, thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate that. Why does it feel like you're avoiding my messages? Brother, I'm not trying to. I'm just reading and talking as I go. What is your message? While I hope they won't do it, you think they'll introduce the Mimic in the 3rd film if they kill off William? I'll be honest with you. I would really prefer if they're gonna kill off William Afton in the 3rd movie, they need to just stop making movies after that. Please don't do the Mimic. Don't do any of the new stuff for the movie. Anything after Security Breach should not be a movie. No Security Breach, no Secret of the Mimic, none of that crap. Please, like, I know some people like it, and if you're one of those fans, sorry, not sorry, I don't like it, but like, I don't think any of that's good stuff. Like, it's so different and like just so bland and generic compared to the original story from the OG games that I just don't want to see it. Like, I'd much rather them end. I'd much rather after the 3rd movie, if they kill off William and they don't have an idea for more movies, just stop. Don't make any more, please. But, you know, unless they can come up with like a really good idea for more movies, then like go for it. You know, I'm all for the idea. But like, I'd much rather they just stop making the movies and not do Secret of the Mimic or any of the Mimic stuff. Just, I don't want them to do it. Please. I don't think it would translate well to a movie. And yes, it was fans saying F you, BB. Yeah, Mike ripping off the head was definitely that. The way Mike pulled BB's head off was such better than Nick Cage beating up animatronics. Nah, dude, Nick Cage beating up those animatronics in Willy's Wonderland is still... That's so good. Like, I think that was much better than Mike ripping off BB's head. That Nick Cage movie is incredible. I love it so much. Springtrap should fight Jeff the Killer. Do a little versus series. Like certain characters versus other ones. I guess you're asking me that because I did Jigsaw versus Springtrap. Which I did that one because like I'm a pretty big Jigsaw fan. And I think when I made that video, the original video I mean, not the remake. But oh, excuse me. When I did the original version, I think the movie Jigsaw was coming out, and I was like really excited for it, even though it ended up not being like as good as I was hoping. But like I made that because of all the Saw hype at the time for Jigsaw movie. What was your reaction to Freddy meme joke in the movie? The har 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 har, dude. Sadly, I saw a clip of that on YouTube before I went to see the movie, so I already knew that I already knew that Easter egg was going to be in it. But I gotta say, it was really fun watching my friend see that that scene for the first time, because he was just crying laughing. He wasn't expecting it, and to be fair, I wasn't either. I did not know that they were gonna do that for the movie. But it was funny. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Like, everybody was probably expecting the nose boop from the games, right? And then it was just horror, 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 horror. It was funny. It was a laugh. It was weird. It was funny. It was a funny movie. I liked it a lot. So you don't like the Steel Wool games? No, I mean, again, I gotta be fair. I haven't seen Secret of the Mimic. I haven't played it. I haven't watched anybody play. I tried watching Markiplier play it, but I just didn't care. Like, I had no interest. And so I can't be too cruel to it. Some people say it's good, you know, if it is, cool, but I don't know, it's just not interesting to me. And then Security Breach was terrible. That was a broken mess of a game that even after they fixed all the bugs and glitches, it just still wasn't a good. Like, the DLC was pretty good. Like, Ruin was better than the original game, but even Ruin still, like, the story for Ruin kind of sucked. And it wasn't very good. I didn't like how there were. I'm so tired of these multiple endings. Like, what happened to a good and bad ending in the FNAF games? Like, that's all we need. We don't need like 7 different endings. Come on. Just give us a good one and give us a bad one. I get it adds replay value. I get it. But, like, if the game's already not good, like, that's probably why they did 7 endings for Security Breach, because they knew the game wasn't going to be very good. And so they're like, well, we need to have people keep playing, so we'll just have 7 different endings. It's like, wow, that's so lame, but all right. My version of Jingles the Puppet is going to be the boy, or be a boy. All right. Good for you. Puppet versus the Puppet Master. Puppet versus Master of Puppets by Metallica. Obey your master. Master. Magma, am I the only Transformers fan in the world that just wants see Bumblebee either being tortured till the end or get killed off permanently? Listen, I like Bumblebee. I know, like, he's the cute robot animatronic, or the cute robot, like, Transformer. I do like Bumblebee, and I like what the Michael Bay movies did with Bumblebee. But you're right, if you're gonna kill Bumblebee off again, just have him stay dead, please. Can we stop getting these fake outs where, like, they killed Bumblebee and then he comes back to life? It's just annoying. They did it twice back to back. You know, it's kind of like, all right, we get it. You guys got nothing else in the theme. I thought Springtrap was so idiotic in the Jigsaw video. I love it when people portray Springtrap as stupid. Lol. I mean, I can see why some people would think he's dumb. A lot of people say that, like, I made him dumb for not choosing the door with the blood on it. Which is like, you can't, I mean, you can, I guess, make an argument, but I disagree. Like, it's a very difficult argument to make, because, like, he just got shot from the first door, right? The first door he chose, when he opened it, the gun shot him, right? And so he's, like, very, like, oh shit, I'm injured. So when he goes to the second door, of course he's going to be more hesitant. And then if there's a cue that maybe that door is going to bring out danger, like if there's blood on the doorknob, then you can't tell me you wouldn't be somebody who at least thinks that could be the wrong door. You're lying to me if you're telling us, if you say that. You know, not that you necessarily were like him and you're not going to open it, but you were lying to yourself if you think you're not going to hesitate after getting shot in the eye from one door and then going to the next one, seeing blood on the door, and then getting at least a little skeptical that maybe something bad's going to happen to you if you open that door too. You cannot tell me that. You're lying. You're lying to yourself. So I disagree that Springtrap was an idiot in that movie, or in that video. I do not think I made him an idiot. Next FNAF game should be one where you can play as an animatronic to switch things up. That would be interesting. I guess they kind of did that with Security Breach a little bit, where you can go inside of Glamrock Freddy and then play as him, I guess, for a little bit. But they kind of did that, but I know what you mean. They should get a full-fledged game. As Undead Jack said, have you talked to a corpse? It's boring. Okay. The way Mike... Alrighty, well, I don't really know what else to talk about. I kind of said my piece on the movie. I'm just waiting for things to pop up in chat, but chat ain't moving. Here we go. Fair, but I thought it was funny. He was also very arrogant at first. Yeah, but I feel like William would be arrogant. I mean, he survived dying. He killed kids. So he thinks he's like on a fake high because it's like, ooh, you killed kids. You killed the weak, innocent kids. You're cool, dude. You know, you're tough. So like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe him being, I guess you could argue, yeah, maybe him being arrogant is a bit ridiculous in the video. But I don't know. I think it worked. Magmarin, who do you think died off more often, Optimus Prime or Goku? Or Krillin? Along with that, I hope Hot Rod Rodimus never returns. Yeah, everybody hates Rodimus. Who died off more, Goku or... Well, it depends, right? Because technically Optimus has only died once in the movies. Whereas Goku's died multiple times throughout the Dragon Ball series. So... I don't even think Krillin's died that. Oh, no, okay, Krillin died once in Dragon Ball. He died in the Namek arc. He gets killed by Majin Buu. Are we counting Dragon Ball GT? Because if we're counting Dragon Ball GT, he gets killed by Android. Is it 7 or 8? Which one's the boy? I forget. Anyways, I think it's 7. He gets killed by Android 7, but if we're not counting GT, then he doesn't ever get killed in Super. So if we're counting GT, he gets killed 4 times, but if we're not counting GT, he's only gotten killed 3 times. Whereas Goku has died. He didn't die in Dragon. He died in Dragon Ball. Actually, he's only died twice. He died in Dragon Ball Z. And then he gets killed. No, he doesn't die on Namek. He gets killed during the Cell arc. Goku's only died twice. So Krillin's the one who takes the cake, I'm pretty sure. Is there going to be more William Afton content from me or like in the movie? Am I going to make more William Afton content? Is that what you're asking? If I do, I might change the design again. I might make him the movie design. I think I'm going to make everybody the movie design until further notice. But we could try changing the design. What time is it? Why was Jeremy in the movie was named Jeremiah? Was Jeremy in the movie? Jeremy Fitzgerald? I don't remember him. Was he one of the guys working with Lisa? Or was he one of the dudes at the end of the movie who was like stealing things from the FNAF 1 pizza? My favorite Twisted Series character? That's a good question. As I remake Twisted Freddy, Springtrap has grown on me more, and I like what I've been doing with Puppet. I was kind of scared to keep Puppet in the series, like bring her back after she left, because in my original series, Puppet is not involved very much. She like tells them nothing, she doesn't know what's wrong with Freddy, and then they leave. But I've actually had her help out a bit in this one. So I don't know. It's a tie between that or tie between Springtrap and Puppet. Puppet's grown on me a lot as I introduced her. I thought she was just going to be a background character that didn't do very much, but I actually was able to give her a lot to do. And then Springtrap, I like my version of Springtrap. I think he's funny. That southern accent, that Cleveland Brown impression that everybody calls my southern Springtrap accent Cleveland Brown. And I'm like, yeah, that fits. That kind of sounds like Cleveland. That Jeremy was guy who was helping Abby and Mike through the house. Oh, he's the black guy. I didn't know his name was Jeremy. Oh, you're right. He is called Jeremiah. Now, hold on a minute. That doesn't necessarily mean he's Jeremy Fitzgerald. It doesn't mean he's that character. That doesn't mean he's him at all. That's just a character named Jeremiah. It could be him, but I don't think so. Do you need any voice actors like me? I don't need any voice actors at the moment. Sorry. The black guy? Yeah, I said that. When is the next movie? We don't know, actually. So, funny enough, the FNAF 2 movie was supposed to come out last year, but it got delayed till this year. So I imagine... I don't think it'll come out next year, but the FNAF 3 movie will... If all goes according to plan, I imagine it'll come out in 2028. Unless they... Yeah, I imagine it'll probably come out 2028. I don't think that's going to come out next year. They would have to work, like, overtime to make that movie. Why did your Springtrap wanted to help Freddy and others? Well, because if he doesn't help them, then Twisted Freddy will eventually find him and kill him too. So that's why he wants to help. Remember, my Springtrap is... You gotta remember this. So my Springtrap's not the normal Springtrap from, like, the games, right? My Springtrap is possessed by Michael Afton, because I was, like many people at the time, I was tricked into believing Michael Afton was inside a Springtrap, thanks to the Sister Location Custom Night cutscene. So Michael Afton is inside a Springtrap, and a lot of people don't, like, in my series, there's two personalities of the animatronics. There's the animatronics have their own personalities, and then there's the spirits that possess them, right? So there's like two people. Took racism out of Magma Ren? What? I'm scared that Henry will be black in the remake now. Wait, Henry wasn't black in this movie. What are you talking about? Was he black? He didn't look black to me. I don't know. I don't think he was. Maybe like... Okay, this is how a little... I'm about to stereotype right now. He looked maybe a little Middle Eastern, but not black. And the only reason I say he looks a little Middle Eastern is because he's got like that beard that looks like a stereotypical Muslim beard. I don't know if he's supposed to be. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't think he's black though. I don't think Henry's black at all. I think Jeremiah was the only one. Oh, and then Corey, of course. What was I saying before that? Bro, Magma Ren is not the pro of FNAF. What? Oh yeah, I was talking about Springtrap. Yeah. So, Springtrap. He wants to, because there's Michael Afton and then there's Spring Bonnie, who's now Springtrap in my series, you know, and he wants to take control of the pizzeria because he's jealous that Golden Freddy and the other ones are being used for like the shows and stuff. So he wants to take control of the pizzeria. But if Freddy's a twisted monster and he's killing everybody, then he can't take control of the pizzeria. So that's why he's helping the animatronics, because he wants to take control of everything for himself. I know I probably didn't make that very clear, and that's my fault, my poor writing skills. There's a lot of things that I'm realizing now. It's like, damn, I wish I wrote that better, and I'm kind of sad. I'll have to do another remake in the future. Henry wasn't black. Good ending. Damn. Damn, Antonio. I didn't know that about you. That's funny. Henry wasn't black. Good ending. They didn't race swap my boy. I can safely say this movie is not woke, so that's good. You know. That is nice. It's just a fun, good movie for fans of the franchise. Which is, like, God forbid a movie is for the fans, you know? Hey, can I join one of your videos, please? Join one of my videos? You mean, like, I don't know, as a character? I'm not really looking for any help at the moment. I appreciate the thought. I thought this was about a FNAF 2 disc? What? Disc? What disc? Why didn't we get to see Mrs. Afton in this film? Brother, I think we still have no idea about Mrs. Afton. There is no word about her whatsoever. We haven't seen her appear in the games. We don't know anything about her in the lore. That she's not even in the books or like the Silver Eyes trilogy. She's not in there. And she's not in the movies, bro. Hashtag justice for Mrs. Afton, bro. Where is she? What happened to her? Where is she? It's like Batman at this point, bro. Where is she? Where's Rachel? That'd be funny if Mrs. Afton's name. And then it'd just be like, where's Rachel? Where is she? Magma, I know that you don't react to FNAF content, however, request that you react to the interviewed series by J. Gem. It's a better than the movies and wholehearted on it. I think I know what you're talking about. I might have seen a few of them, but I don't think I've seen all of them. And at the moment, I don't remember what they were exactly. So I'll take a look, though. I've thought about doing like a stream reacting to other people's, but I don't know. A lot of people make like animations based on music, right? And like, that's cool, but like, that's a lot of copyright problems right there, you know? But maybe I'll do like a stream where it's like, who cares if it gets demonetized? Watch it. Justice for Mrs. Afton, yes. Get it going. Well, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. Get it going. We need to know what happened to Mrs. Afton. There's been like no discussion of her. No, she's never been referenced once in the movie or anything, any of this FNAF stuff. We gotta know, man. And her name has to be Rachel so that we can be like, where's Rachel? Where is she? Mrs. Afton is like kitchen. It doesn't matter, and we need to see it. Damn. Oh yeah, right, because all the kitchens in the pizzerias we can never see. The cameras are always blacked out for some reason. What's your opinion on your version of William Afton? I don't know. I think I don't know. Because like I said, I made him that almost that cartoony villain who wants to like, I want to discover immortality, you know, in like the Twisted series, which is like, I guess it works for the series. I like the design I gave him, I'll be honest. But like my character is also not Matthew Lillard, so it's like it's not even fair. You know, Matthew Lillard, William Afton is best William Afton. I think Mrs. Afton is the marionette. Well, that's just not true. Because Charlie is. So you're wrong. If they were to do a FNAF 4 movie, what do you think it should be about? Somebody said it in chat. I forgot who it was. But they had a theory that maybe at the end of FNAF 3, Abby gets put into a coma. And then she goes through like FNAF 4 in her coma. That's honestly not a bad idea. But we'll see. I don't know. You know, I would imagine if they're going to do a FNAF 4, they would probably have to do the Nightmare. Well, they don't have to, but like they would do the Nightmare animatronics, right? So like I don't know what they could do to like make that possible. Like if it's like maybe they could do like a hallucinative gas or something that like makes people hallucinate, so like they see the Nightmare animatronics but they're not real. I don't know. Magmarin, I sent you a friend request and you forgot to accept it. I did. Where did you send me one on? What, you got me on Xbox or something? I don't play Xbox anymore. Imagine them trying to make the Nightmare animatronics. It would be absolute hell for them to make. Oh, dude, that would... Not only would it be hell to... I think making it would be easy. It's just finding a way to control them. Because, like, in the animatronics in this movie, they're suits, right? And so there's people in the suits moving as the robots. So, like, it would be very difficult to probably make those giant Nightmare animatronics. And then move them around, you know. It would be probably... I'd imagine we'd see a lot more CGI in the movie if they do that. I have the same problem. If you guys are talking about Discord, I don't want to be mean, but I don't accept like every friend request that's sent to me on Discord. I'm not like, I don't say that to be mean. I don't know you people, so it's like the ones I friend requested are other people I work with in terms of like the voice actors I work with, or actresses rather, and then just friends I have, you know, on the friends I have, the friends I talk to on Discord. So I don't mean to be rude, but like, don't get offended if I don't accept a friend request. I'm sorry. What if Mrs. Afton is the marionette, just like her daughter is Circus Baby? But that's not true, because the marionette's Charlie. So it's not her. Like, I'm more willing to believe that she's Ballora before I believe she's a puppet. Magma, if you're really doing a stream reacting to other people's FNAF content, I suggest the interviewed. You already said that. We'll see. I don't know. No promises on that stream, though. I gotta start making... There's like some Christmas shorts I want to make for Christmas. Like a little animated shorts. So I gotta start working on that. So I can't promise we'll be doing a react stream to other content. Charlie is Mrs. Afton. Call me Polish Matt. What? That's such a bizarre theory. I genuinely love the Foxy and Springtrap rivalry. Yeah, I expanded upon a lot more too, because I figured my version of Foxy is a lot more brash and aggressive, and I feel like he would be at conflict with Springtrap a lot, and so I made them not get along very well. What if Mrs. Afton is a marionette? Just already read that. Why did you call the Twisted Wolf Silver? I don't know. I think a commenter, somebody in a comment section called him Silver. They're like, if you name the Twisted Wolf, you should call him Silver. And my genius big brain mind went, that's a great idea. Even though Silver's like the most generic name, you know, for like a gray silver wolf character. It's especially funny because, like, I wasn't, like, huge into Sonic before I made Twisted Freddy. But, like, when I started, like, those movies really made me more interested in it. And then as a result of that, I learned that there is a character named Silver, the Sonic games. And he's just like a silver hedgehog. And I'm like, wow, original. And I'm like, well, wait, I can't speak because I named Twisted Wolf. But because it's silver, it must now stay as. I guess I could change the name, but I feel like that would be a disservice to the old fans of my videos. They'd be like, why'd you change the name? So I'm just gonna keep it silver. I'm joking, it's just my dream. What? On internet, his name is just Twisted Wolf. I know that, but like, I don't know. I just thought I'd give him a name. That's all. I know he probably should just be referred to as Twisted Wolf. But like, that'd be really dumb if they just kept calling him as if that's his. When I see Death Trap, all I can see is just the worst version of myself. The only difference, he's smarter. Is that good or bad? It might not be very good. It's not good at all. Learn a book, man. That's all I can say. all love to Death Trap people. He's underrated in my opinion. He's just sarcastic guy who just of something. Yeah, he's kind of like, I don't know. I guess he's got a bit of quirkiness in the sense that like fandom, but he's not like garbage quirky like that one girl, Stranger Things. I forget her name, the gay one. Oh, is it Robin? I don't know. But yeah, he's not like quirky. He's not that kind of quirky. He's quirky in the sense of just like dumb, but he does it, so he goes into it. I like to think he's dumb, but he acts dumb, but he's actually really smart. He just thinks it's more fun to be. That's how I've always viewed Death. Would your Springtrap get along with Death Trap since he didn't interact with him? I don't think anybody would get along. I'll be honest with you. Nobody would get along. It's too annoying. You know the way. Yes, my brother. I know the way. The way of the devil. Your spring. I already read that. Right. How long have we been going for? Almost 2 hours. I think I'm going to call it there. We pretty much went over the movie. Just to revamp it a bit. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It still has some problems, right? It's not like a perfect movie or anything. But it was fun. It was a lot better than the first movie. It took a lot of my criticisms from the first movie and pretty much didn't do those this time. It actually fixed them. Like a lot of the writing was better, a lot of the character motivation arcs were better. Things fluently went throughout the plot. It didn't feel like things were just happening randomly just to progress the plot forward. There was a lot of setup and payoff, a lot of building of tension. It was a lot more mature too, a lot more dark, which I appreciate as well. It brings me back to the early days of FNAF when it was like really creepy and cool. Not that it's, well, I don't really. You already made my statements on new FNAF. I personally don't think it's that cool, but I love old FNAF. Old FNAF's these movies pretty good. They're getting better. So hopefully, this third movie, if they are just gonna do a trilogy, hopefully this third movie is awesome. Hopefully it's amazing because what a beautiful like. That'd be great if we got a good trilogy of movies. You know, I really like it. I gotta give props to Scott and the Blumhouse team. Great. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. So yeah. I think you're right about Silver's name, otherwise Springtrap and others would call him Twisted Wolf. I guess they could refer to him as the Twisted Wolf, right? But like if Deathtrap and them are gonna interact with Silver, I'd imagine they'd call him by whatever name he really was. When's the next stream? I don't know. I'm not gonna say when the next stream is because I notice I do that a lot where I say I'm gonna do something later and then I don't do it. Then I'm like, damn, I'm an asshole. Well, I'm not gonna say when the next stream is. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, other than that, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys liked that movie a lot. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. I'm probably gonna go see it again. And you should too. And if you haven't seen the movie and you were watching this for some reason, I really recommend going to see it in theaters. It's a good movie, and it will be worth it to see it in. So yeah, all right, that's gonna be all for today. Thank you to everybody who tuned in, and I will talk to you all later. Peace out.